This is a capstone review of PeerPower by Caitlin Mitchell from Touro University's Innovative Learning Program. My essential question was, what are the effects of peer feedback on student work quality? Do you see a lack of work quality in the classroom? Do you feel like there just isn't enough time during the day to meet with each student to go over their work? Do you wish that your students were more independent, motivated learners? Do you feel overwhelmed by the teacher-to-student ratio? Well, I was that teacher. I am Caitlin Mitchell, and I have been looking to solve these problems in my first grade classroom. I found that explicit teaching of peer feedback skills in conjunction with the use of appropriate tech tools and growth mindset training solved all these problems for me. I no longer feel stressed about meeting with each student about their work because my students are now my allies. They strongly value the opinions of their peers, and they no longer come running to me every time they have a problem. Now they go to their peers for feedback. As the human race transformed from nomadic beings to living in communities, our species saw much more success from our ability to collaborate and utilize each other's strengths. This should be no different inside of a classroom. This shift in responsibility has empowered these students to take ownership of their success rather than depending on the teacher to drive their learning. I would like to thank Touro University and Napa Learns for awarding me this opportunity of self-improvement. My research page covers the journey that this project has taken, from its early stages involving active listening to what it is now. I pursued a different direction for my capstone project. I needed to answer the how piece. How do I motivate students to want to use their active listening skills? Peer feedback was that motivator. The references page is equipped with many tools that teachers will find helpful when starting out implementing peer feedback in their classroom, such as Common Sense Media, which helps to improve student ability to use digital citizenship. There are growth mindset books that are helpful, and other resources and videos as well. On the standards page, you can access the standards behind my project. Lots of the standards that I used were speaking and listening standards. There were also ISTE standards, 21st century skills, and TPAC standards that motivated me. On the lessons page, you will see a layout of how I organized the beginning of my implementation of peer feedback in my classroom. Included are tools to enhance and encourage growth mindset, as well as a reference guide for students to use while giving peer feedback. They can use this tool as a scaffolding tool for future interactions. On my assessments page, there are a couple of examples of student surveys that I administered at the beginning and at the end of this process to see how students were performing on peer feedback. There is also a peer feedback rubric that is student-friendly and a graphic organizer to help students organize their thoughts before giving peer feedback. The results of my student surveys reflected that a majority of students enjoyed giving and receiving feedback. They felt like feedback helped them to find mistakes that they had made. As far as teacher observations, I noticed that students were more engaged in the learning process and motivated to work harder. Much more growth was made by students after peer feedback was administered. My inspirations page covers how my students inspired me to take these steps to improve my teaching and, subsequently, their learning. The About the Author page offers some information about me as a person and as a professional. It also offers information about my journey through the master's program, which wouldn't have been possible without the amazing Cohort 16 members, my use of TPAC in the design of this project, and a way to get in touch with me. The last page that I would like to cover is the design process page, which covers the creation of my project, starting with just the brainstorming phase, and it moves on to talk about my logo and the important aspects of this project that made it what it was. I sincerely hope that you will try using peer feedback in your classroom. It has worked wonders in my classroom, and if I can do it, you can do it.